ですね、そうです、相談いただくときに紹介です。はい、だから名前呼ばれたら、登壇いただくという形になります。はい。俺も入った方がいいのか、入らない方がいいか。じゃあもう始めてもいいですかね。うん。場所はそこで。はいはいはい。ええ。わかりました。はいはい。はいはい、わかりました。はい。はい。じゃあもう始めちゃいますね。 Thank you very much for gathering today. So let's start session now. Today's session is a bit time constrained, so we should start now. すいません。Okay, so let me start the session. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and all attendees. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Tatsuya Kusakabe from Center for the Study of International Cooperation in Education, Hiroshima University, and I am honored to serve as a moderator for this session. Today's session is titled, Feeding Futures Together, Japan's Role in Advancing School Meals Through Global Partnerships. Our aim is to explore how Japan can contribute to the development and enhancement of school meal programs around the world. Nutrition challenges in developing countries remain one of the most pressing global issues of our time. By positioning educational institutions not only as places for learning, but also hubs for nutritious support, we can help shape brighter futures for children and by extension for communities and nations. For example, in my research on child nutrition and education in South Africa, one innovative policy stands out. In impoverished areas, schools provide not only lunch but also breakfast. Numerous studies have shown a strong correlation between nutrition and academic performance, and such policies can yield synergistic benefits for both health and learning outcomes. So Japan's school lunch program began in 1889, initially as a means to improve children's nutritious status. Over the years, it has evolved into a comprehensive system that continues to serve students nationwide. This long-standing experience offers valuable insights that could be shared with and adapted to context in Africa and beyond. Today, we are privileged to welcome a group of outstanding stakeholders who will share their experiences and expertise. I encourage all of us to engage deeply in this dialogue and reflect on how the international community can work together to address the intertwined challenges of education and nutrition. Let us begin. So we shall move on to the next session. We'd like to move to welcome address. Speaker is Mr. Tetsuro Yano, President, Association of African Economy and Development, AFRECO. Mr. Yano, stage is yours.
皆様おはようございます。連日暑い夏が続くところ、こんなにも多くの方々のご指摘をいただきました。まだ空席が多少目立つんでありますけれども、間もなくいっぱいになることを期待しております。今回の GPE のこの会合でありますけれども、私初めて出席をさせていただきます。っていうのは、大変不勉強で、私は GPE の存在、知らなかったんですね。一昨年、GPE のボードメンバーの議長を務められています、キクエテ元タンザニア大統領、お電話をいただきまして、GPE の CEO が訪日する、ぜひとも今回の訪日が実り大きくなる結果を出してくれ、協力を頼む というふうな伝言をいただきました。初めてその折 GP の存在を知ったわけであります。約20年強前に G7 の決議でもって世銀のもとに作られたこの GPE と聞いております。ですから日本も G7 の一員であります。そして日本は教育国ということで、それでもって結局今日の日本の繁栄を作ったと言っても過言ではないというぐらい教育熱心な日本、ということで、さあ、この GP がスタートします。それぞれの国々が G7 の国々が出演金を決定します。私が聞いたところによると、アメリカ、イギリスが日本円で換算すると約2000億の出演金を協力しております。日本は、恥なんだけどね、一番ベゲなんですよ。今日は外務省も来てくれてるんだけども、ぜひ一つ頭の中に叩き込んでいただければありがたい。日本の前がイタリアなんです。イタリアも3桁の億の出演金を協力したい。日本は残念ながら2桁なんですね。7カ国でベケ。これで日本の教育国、日本の姿勢が本当に示せるのかな、時に問題意識を私に持ったわけであります。ですから私としてはこの今中国、インド約10億の民がいます。14億。そしてもう頂点を極めてこれから人口減が始まります。アフリカ大陸全域で約10億の民がいらっしゃる。そして今後25年、2050年にはアフリカの全域の人口がなんと10億増えて24億になると聞いております。しからばその増えた10億の人口の人たちが本来アフリカのために使命を担って明日のアフリカに向けて大いなる資産になるか、それとも残念ながら教育施設が整備されてない、教育の場がないっていう中でアフリカの発展に足を引っ張るような立場になってしまうか、分かれ目なんですよ。ということで、何としてでも教育国日本の姿勢をやはりこれから作り上げて、その2050年を迎えなければいけないというふうに考えております。今日は、ケニアからルトー大統領、レイ夫人がご指摘をいただいています。そして、リベリアの教育大臣、ジアラ教育大臣閣下もご指摘。そして、なんと、我が文科省の安倍大臣がご指摘をいただいている。ということで、文科省もこの件について関心を持ち始めたかなというふうに期待しています。ぜひともですね、文科省さんがまさにこの案件の中心的な立場でもって、この問題を取り上げていただければ幸いだ、さよう考えます。そして、参議院のドンである山本順三先生、山本順三先生が日本における国会議員のまとめ役で、この GP のこの今後の活躍、活動等々を一つ協力するという立場になっていただきました。ですから、今までと様相が変わったんではないかな、本当に国際的にもなった、そして国内でもこれだけの体制が出来上がってきた、こういうことにつながると存じます。ぜひともですね、関係者の皆様の今日に至るまでの本当にね、ご苦労をお察し申し上げる。でもこれから実のある GP の活動ができる、こういうふうに位置づけても間違いないと確信させていただきます。ぜひとも今後のですね、ごめんなさい、本部からは、ノース副総裁も今日はご指摘をいただいて、ね、今後の対応等々にいろんなご意見も賜ればありがたいと思っています。 いずれにせよ、今日こういうふうな形でもって GP の活動をみんなで一つ推進していこうというふうなことに至ったということで大変喜んでおります。今後そう一層のご活躍をご期待したい、そのことをお願い申し上げまして、冒頭の挨拶に変えさせていただきたい。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Tetsuroyano. Great speech with a real situation. So we shall move on to the next greetings. One, we'd like to invite our Minister, Her Excellency Toshiko Abe, Minister of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. Ms. Abe, stage is yours.
Good morning. To our friends from GPE and AFRECO, ladies and gentlemen, today is the final day of TICAD9. With the momentum for the creation growing, I would like to thank you for holding this seminar on the theme of the Japan's school lunch system and international cooperation. Recently, MEX has been requested from the African countries wishing to include the Japan distinct holistic education, which encompasses knowledge, morals, and the physical health into their own educational systems. Japan's school lunch system is certainly an important part of this holistic education. Children work together in everything from food preparation to eating and the cleaning up afterwards. It indeed helps foster a rich sense of humanity. MEX is working with to introduce Japanese-style education overseas. So that is the theme we would like to explore in depth. I hope that together with all of you, today we can engage in a fruitful discussion that will draw on the accumulated experience of Japan's unique school lunch system to contribute to the betterment of education in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Minister Abe. So the next is second greetings from Mr. Junzo Yamamoto, member of the House of Councillors, Liberal Democratic Party. Yamamoto Sensei, stage is yours.
皆さんおはようございます。ただいまご紹介賜りました参議院議員の山本順三と申します。今日はこのような形で GP のセッションが盛大に開催されまして、大勢の皆さんにお集まりいただきましたことを心から感謝を申し上げます。私は実は、もう参議院議員になって4期目になりますけれども、4期ということは参議院の任期は6年でありますから20年余り参議院議員務めておりますけれども、最初に参議院議員になった時の上司が今ほど冒頭にご挨拶をいただいた矢野哲郎先生でありました。彼はミスターアフリカというそういう異名を持つもうアフリカ命の先生でありました。その先生に連れられてアフリカ各国をあちらこちらへとまさに人と会うために、そして日本とアフリカの関係をさらに強化するために全力を挙げて取り組んでいて、もう矢野先生は、政治家お引きになりましたけども、まだまだお元気で今アフレコの会長として大いに日本とアフリカの関係を強めている、そういう仕事をされているところでもございます。その矢野先生から、GPE のことをお聞かせいただきました。それまでは全然私も存じ上げてなかったわけでありますけれども、タンザニアの元大統領のキクエテ元大統領との関係もあり、ぜひお手伝いをしたい、そんな気持ちを込めてこの場に立たせていただいているところでございます。今日本国、特にこの横浜あるいは東京は アフリカでTICAD9 のさまざまなインパクトがどんどん広がっている、そういう状況でありますから、この TICAD9 を本当に一つの大きな契機として、そしてアフリカとの関係をさらに深めたいというふうに思っております。私もそういう関係で何度かアフリカ諸国に足を運びました。今年も2月には、セネガルとコートジボワール、初めて西アフリカに行ってまいりましたけれども、そういったところにも足を運びました。行って私たちが一番大事にしているのは何かというと、その国の子どもたちと交流すること、そしてその国の教育体制がどのようになっているのか、それを自分の目で確認することを一番大きな目的としております。どこへ行ってもね、本当にどこへ行っても子どもたちの目の輝きが日本の国の子どもと比較して残念ながら本当に輝き光っている。それは何を意味するかというと、アフリカの子どもたちにこれから素晴らしい教育を授けることができるならば、時代はアフリカの時代というふうに言われておりますけれども、そのアフリカのリーダーとして彼らが活躍することによってアフリカ各国の発展が約束される、こんなことを常に思いながら小学校あるいはまた中学校を訪問をさせていただいているところであります。そして今日のテーマ、これはまさに学校給食。日本の国も戦後非常に貧困に苦しみました。でもそういった流れの中で世銀はじめ多くの諸外国の皆さんからいわゆる協力を得て、そして大いなる発展を短期間に築き上げたわけでありますけれども、その一番のキーワードは何かというと、やはり健康な体を持った、そしてまたしっかりとした教育を受けた子どもたちが日本の将来の礎を築いてきたと、そのことに全て関わってくるんだろうというふうに思っております。栄養の十分行き届いた学校給食の制度、これはおそらくアフリカにとっても非常に大事な論点であろうというふうに思っておりますので、ぜひですね、今日はGPE の大きな目標の一つとして学校給食というものが各アフリカ諸国の国々の教育の中に組み込まれていく、そのことが大変重要であるということを改めて感じているところでありまして、今日のこのセッションでぜひ皆さん方のいろんな知恵を結集して、そして将来のアフリカ諸国を背負って立つ子どもたちの健康を、そしてまた教育をしっかりとこれから誘導といいましょうか、守っていく、そういった動きを我々もしてまいりたいと思います。この TICAD9、このことによって一つの大きなきっかけを作っていただいたわけでありますから、そのことをしっかりと受け止めて、これから大いに皆さんと一緒に活動していきたいと思いますので、今後ともどうぞよろしくお願い申し上げて、私からの挨拶に変えます。今日どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Yamamoto Sensei. Minister Abe will leave earlier due to other business. Thank you very much, Minister Abe. Okay, so next session is the special presentation from Her Excellency Mrs. Rachel Ruto, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya. Welcome to Japan. Yeah, stage is yours.
Mr. Tetsu Yano, President of the Association of African Economy and Development, AFRECO. Thank you. Your Excellency, Toshiko Abe, Japan Minister of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. I know she's just stepped out. Dr. Jas Somali Jala, Liberian Minister of Education, distinguished members of AFRECO, esteemed partners from across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ohio guzamaiso. Hamjambo. I'm honored to be here with you today. I join you on the sidelines of TICAD9 to engage on this important topic of feeding the future. I extend my appreciation to the Association of African Economy of Development, AFRECO, for its unwavering dedication to enhancing cooperation between Africa and Japan. Thank you for promoting sustainable development, establishing mutually beneficial partnerships, and advocating for Africa's role, not just as a recipient of aid, but as an equal partner in growth and innovation. Receive warm greetings from His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya. The President has placed agriculture at the very heart of our nation's progress, prioritizing agricultural productivity as the cornerstone of food security and economic growth. The President envisions a Kenya where no household goes hungry, where every child is nourished to learn and thrive, and where agriculture secures the promise of our nation's future. Ladies and gentlemen, the video you have watched carries the story of resilience and unwavering grit, the story of Kenya's children. They're dreamers who see beyond the horizon, visionaries who aspire to transform the communities they call home. In their eyes shines the promise of a brighter tomorrow. However, many children face many challenges, one of which is hunger. Hunger limits growth, affects development, and robs children the ability to focus and learn. Hunger denies our children the chance to take charge of their future. An empty stomach should never stand in the way of this great opportunity. We must come together and take action to ensure that no child is left behind because of hunger. As the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, I support the government's efforts in ensuring that every child in Kenya can access a school meal. Kenya aims to provide 10 million school meals by the year 2030. The government and its partners feed 2.6 million children, with a gap of an estimated 7.4 million learners. However, we acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead in bridging the remaining gap. The disparity is stark, and it is our collective responsibility to address it with urgency and compassion. To support this cause, my office is passionately dedicated to making a difference, and we aspire to directly feed additional 2 million learners through an initiative called Feed One, End Hunger. Currently, we are working with schools to create a sustainable school feeding program by producing food on school grounds in partnership with 4K clubs under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Our vision is to establish at least 2,000 school kitchens and fruit gardens across Kenya by 2025. Through the revitalization 4K Club in public primary schools, kitchen gardens and fruit gardens have become living classrooms, instilling in our children values of resilience, responsibility, and hope. It exemplifies that with the right support, even the most challenging environments can thrive and yield abundance. It is exciting to see how the children have truly transformed not only their schools, but also the surrounding community. What started as a simple idea of using organic seeds has flourished into sustainable sources of nourishment, providing our pupils with an abundance of fresh vegetables and wholesome cereals. The children involved has developed a deeper appreciation for where their food comes from and the importance of healthy eating habits. Moreover, we have begun to see ripple effects with the community as families are inspired to plant their own gardens and adapt healthier eating routines. Local workshops have started to pop up, teaching others how to grow their own food effectively, further spreading the message of sustainability and self-reliance. Africa's greatest resource is not buried behind our soil, but lives within our people. They are the heartbeat of our continent's future and architects of our tomorrow's prosperity. This is why Afresco's focus for TICAD9 on feeding the future is so timely, because a healthy generation is the true engine of our continent's growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as women carry communities, so too must we carry the promise of our children. It is important that children remain at the heart of every agenda we pursue, as their future shapes the foundation of our society. Through the Voice of Children initiative, driven by my office, we affirm this commitment. Our aim is to cultivate a nurturing environment where children's aspirations take root and flourish, guided by three key pillars: provision, which ensures that every child's needs are met; protection, to shield them from harm; and participation, to give them the voice and place in shaping the future they will inherit. As the late Wangare Maathai, our beloved Nobel Peace Laureate from Kenya, reminded us, in the course of history, there comes a time when humanity is called to shift to a new level of consciousness. That time is now. Indeed, that time for Kenya and Africa is now. Afreco's own grassroots impact reminds us that when communities are empowered, development is not just possible, it is irreversible. It is evident that collaboration is essential, and that is why we are seeking partners, organizations, and individuals like you who are equally fervent about improving the nutrition and welfare of our children. Your support, whether through resources, advocacy, or partnership, will be invaluable in helping us to reach our goal and create a sustainable change that will resonate through generations. This is not charity, it is investing in the future. As former Prime Minister Yoshiro Mori wisely said, the future of Africa is the future of the world. Today, we are reminded that our story is intertwined with the destiny of humanity. Let us therefore reaffirm our shared responsibility to shape that future through cooperation, through dignity, and through the guarantee of food security for every family. May we commit here and now to shaping a tomorrow where food security is a daily reality for every household, and where every child is celebrated not as a victim of hunger, but as a bearer of promise, nourished to learn, to grow, and to thrive. Arigato gozaimasu, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Rachel Ruto. So now we'd like to enjoy the 3 minutes video clip regarding this issue. Okay, so please play that video clip.
In Kenya, too many children still face the harsh reality of learning on an empty stomach. Hunger steals their concentration, weakens their health, and threatens their dreams. Yet, when a child is nourished, hope is restored and potential unlocked. To respond to this urgent need, the First Lady of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, launched Feed One, End Hunger under the broader Voice of Children initiative. Inspired by the words of Mother Teresa, if you cannot feed 100, just feed one. The program ensures every child has access to nutritious meals in school. What makes Feed One, End Hunger unique is its sustainable approach. Schools are supported to establish kitchen gardens, integrate nutrition education, and link with local producers. Children learn how food is grown, harvested, and shared, skills they take back home to transform their communities. Guided by 3 pillars: child protection, child participation, and child provision, the initiative is built on a simple but powerful belief: a plate of food is power in a child's hands. In schools like Kachororoni Primary School in Kwale County, kitchen gardens have become more than a source of food. They are classrooms of change. Children carry these lessons home, helping their parents establish gardens that feed entire households. One small seed planted in school blossoms into food security for the community. At the heart of every successful school feeding program lies one essential resource: water. Without water, gardens cannot thrive, meals cannot be prepared, and children's health cannot be safeguarded. Feed One End Hunger works with schools to secure reliable water access through tanks, rainwater harvesting, and borehole projects, ensuring that the promise of nourishment is sustained. Feed One End Hunger also brings innovation to school feeding. A pilot program done in partnership with the Kenya Dairy Board delivers fresh milk to learners across 12 schools twice a week. Teachers already report fewer absence and stronger retention. For these children, milk is more than a drink. It is the strength to stay in class and learn. Every story tells of transformation. Children focused in class, parents inspired to grow food at home, and communities united in the fight against hunger. What begins with one plate of food creates ripples of change. Feed One End Hunger is more than a program. It is a movement of hope, resilience, and sustainability. But this mission cannot be carried out alone. Together with government, partners, and communities, we can ensure that no child in Kenya lands on an empty stomach, because feeding one child is the first step to ending hunger for all.
Thank you very much. So next is the keynote address, Global Perspective on School Nutrition. Speaker is Mr. Charles North, Deputy CEO, GPE. Mic is yours.
That's pretty good. Yep, okay. It is a great honor to be here with all of you today, talk about this important subject. Let me just take a moment to welcome and recognize our distinguished guests. I know she's already left, but Minister Abe, Mr. Yamamoto, Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of Kenya, Her Excellency Jazo Jale from Liberia. Distinguished guests and partners, we are deeply grateful for your presence and your commitment to ending hunger and ensuring every child has the education they need. Okay, there we go. It is an honor to join you today on behalf of the Global Partnership for Education. Many of you are familiar with the work we do, but for those who are not, GPE is the only global partnership and the largest global fund solely dedicated to education in lower income countries. Since 2002, we have mobilized over $11 billion for education, supporting 90 partner countries and territories in building inclusive, equitable, and resilient education systems that give every girl and boy the chance to reach their full potential while strengthening national and global stability, resilience, and prosperity. Our mission is to mobilize partnerships and investments to transform education systems in lower income countries leaving no one behind. To transform education, we must also transform education finance. Whether these investments come from government budgets or external sources, they must be used efficiently. They must be focused on the critical reforms needed to achieve at-scale improvements, equitable, to reach the most marginalized, sustainable, thereby reducing the reliance on external financing. We must also work across sectors, combining efforts with non-education partners to achieve our respective goals. Hunger and poor health are daily barriers to learning for millions of children. Over 73 million children in low-income countries go to school on an empty stomach. And over 150 million children under 5 are stunted by undernutrition, affecting their learning and cognitive abilities. Rural communities and areas prone to conflict are especially at risk. And the risk increases for girls and children with disabilities. School meal programs that provide healthy, nutritious, and locally sourced meals help children learn better, improve school attendance, and reduce inequalities. The benefits flow to the local community, including local farmers and businesses. Recognizing this, GPE partner countries increasingly prioritize school health and nutrition programs as an area of focus for GPE support. Since 2024, GPE has invested close to $130 million in health, hygiene, and nutrition. A key part of supporting partner countries is mobilizing better and more sustainable financing, aligning with their national priorities. We are constantly innovating and developing creative ideas for durable solutions for improved learning, including by ensuring children are well-fed and healthy. In Haiti, for example, GPE supported the scaling up of the country's school feeding program. GPE invested $19 million and mobilized $58 million in co-financing from the World Food Program, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the Education Above All Foundation. In another example, in Ethiopia, GPE invested $23 million in a school feeding program focused on districts near conflict-affected areas during the Civil War. That program reached 460,000 children despite the ongoing conflict. As a result, many children who had dropped out returned to school and resumed their education. Most recently, in partnership with the World Food Program and the School Meals Coalition, we launched the School Health and Nutrition Technical Assistance Facility. The facility advises countries on how to strengthen the management and integration of school meal programs in their education systems. This initiative is being piloted in 5 diverse partner countries: Indonesia, Kenya, Lesotho, the Philippines, and Zambia. These countries are united in striving to strengthen their national school meal programs through sustainable financing and enhanced cross-sector coordination, grounded in evidence and shared learning.
Okay, Charles, please wind up a bit earlier.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I want to emphasize shared learning because this is where Japan's global leadership and its best practices are most influential. We have heard about the Japan's school lunch program as being one that was started in 1889, 127 years ago, and now reaches 99.7% of all public elementary schools. Japan's international support through the Ministry of Education and JICA shapes the policies and practices in Ghana, Madagascar, and Laos. Your support comes at a critical moment when global public financing for education has major constraints. This makes it all the more important to integrate efforts and maximize outcomes. We cannot afford to not be aligned. The impact of Japan's efforts could be significantly magnified by aligning them further with a multilateral platform such as GPE. I firmly believe that global partnerships and innovative financing can make the difference between isolated success and systemic and sustained transformation. As GPE approaches its replenishment, we urge our partners to recognize the power of pooled global funding. Let me close by emphasizing again that only together, in partnership, can we ensure that by 2030, every child has access to a nutritious meal and the opportunity to learn, grow, thrive, and contribute to their communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles North. So the next session is Fireside Chat, Voices from Africa and the World. Let me introduce three speakers. Dr. Manos Antoninis, Director, GEM Report, UNESCO. Second, Her Excellency Jalso Malay Jalla, Minister of Education of Liberia. Third, Her Excellency Haruna Idris, Minister of Education of Ghana, by the video message. Oh, please. Oh. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. A pleasure also for me, Minister, First Lady, Your Excellencies, to share with you our work on education and nutrition with a particular reference in Africa. Allow me to start with a few words to place the report that I direct in the context of today's meeting. Next slide, please. The Global Education Monitoring Report is an editorially independent report that is hosted and published by UNESCO since 2002. And our mandate is to monitor progress on education in the 2030 agenda. But we are much more than just a report. We offer thematic editions, including on education and the other sustainable development goals, and today I will refer to our work on nutrition. Our regional editions cover the whole world, including most recently East Asia, but I'm going to focus today on our work on primary education in Africa. And on top of our multiple other products, we also support various global initiatives, including the monitoring of progress in the Global Partnership for Education, contributing to the results report since 2021. Our reports, maybe we can change the slides, on education and nutrition, which I have left some copies for you at the entrance, was launched in March, and it was in collaboration with the Research Consortium on School Health and Nutrition of the School Meals Coalition, that is a partner also for today's event. Our recommendations covered 5 areas. If we could change the slide, please. We all know that the school is at the heart of efforts towards sustainable nutrition, but we need to be much more intelligent about it. Whole school approaches are really required that combine school meal provision, as we heard also from the great video in Kenya, with nutrition education, physical activity, and extracurricular activities to achieve the objectives we need. For example, we don't need just school meals. These school meals should be nutritious and locally sourced. Theoretical learning in the classroom should be accompanied with experiential learning in the gardens. The food environment, let's not forget, around the school should also be improved, because in many cases it's not, and there's a lot of junk foods in the vicinity of schools. Secondly, although nutrition education is by definition multi-sectoral, even more sectors need to be involved. And it is in that sense that Japan's school feeding program, Shoku Ike, is the one example of really incorporating sustainability and culture in it. Third, nutrition education should be seen as a lifelong learning pursuit. We should integrate nutrition through formal, but also non-formal and informal learning into mass media and digital platform communications for all sorts of issues, from nutrition knowledge to food safety. And fourth, education needs to also support efforts to build professional capacity, not just for nutrition professionals, but also, let's not forget, health professionals and agriculture professionals and food planning experts. Lastly, we need to do more to monitor education and nutrition, not just through the first 1,000 days, but also into the school age, and that matters. If we change our slide, you'll see also that our interest in nutrition and education is not circumstantial. We might be education experts, but if we really had the right data, we would have been able, I'm sure, to show that nutrition is perhaps the #1 factor that explains improvements in learning. Our Spotlight series on primary education and foundational learning in Africa, which is in partnership with the African Union and ADEA, focuses on education issues. In fact, the second cycle that looked in primary mathematics praised JICA's approach in the long term in countries like Kenya, Madagascar, and Zambia. But we also try to ensure that each of the 3 cycles takes a close look, and we can change to the next slide. Each of the cycles has looked at school feeding programs, because we know that 4 in 10 children in Africa go to school hungry, and yet only 1 in 3 receive school meals. And just 38% of these school meal programs are locally financed. Kenya is again another great example of how this program has been nationalized. For that reason, one of our 8 recommendations throughout this series is that every child should have a school meal. In 2022, we presented the example of Madagascar, where despite droughts and big problems of feeding, only 10% of school children receive a school meal. There has been a very good example of a recent program focusing on local purchases, which is affordable, but it has struggled through issues of coordination, ownership, sustainability, and vulnerability to climate shocks. In 2024, we looked at the example of Ethiopia, which was also mentioned recently, also by Charles. Also, that is a sustainable program where less than 0.5% of GDP is allocated. In our upcoming report, which will be launched at the end of October, we will focus on the case of Mali, which shows the continued commitment of the Global Education Monitoring Report on these issues. And with that, I would like to close maybe the last slide to remind you that you can find the materials at the entrance when you exit. Thank you very much for your kind invitation.
Okay, next speaker is Jalso Malay Jalla, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. President Iyano, Her Excellency Toshiko Amo, I know she left, Mrs. Rachel Ruto, First Lady of Kenya, Mr. Charles North, GPE, Africo members, Mr. Yamamoto, some honorable members of Parliament, distinguished delegates, esteemed partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a profound honor to address you today at this pivotal gathering, Feeding Futures Together. Japan's role in advancing school meals through global partnerships at TICAD9 under the theme Co-Create Innovative Solutions with Africa. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency, President Joseph Numa Boakai, the people and government of Liberia. I extend heartfelt gratitude to the government of Japan, Africa, and Global Partners for Education, the organizers of this event, and all the partners who have made this event possible. School meals are more than just a food on a plate. They are a lifeline for millions of children, a foundation for learning and a catalyst for community development. In Liberia, as in many nations represented here, school meals are often the difference between a child attending school or staying at home. For many, it is the only nutritious meal they receive all day. Liberia's journey in school feeding has been marked by both challenges and remarkable progress. The civil conflict left our education system in ruins, and the twin shock of major public health crises further tested our resilience. Yet, through unwavering support of partners like Japan and the tireless efforts of our school feeding partners, educators, and communities, we are rebuilding and expanding our school feeding programs as we move to nationalize school meals in Liberia. Today, about 250,000 Liberian children in public primary schools receive daily meals across the country. This achievement is not just a statistic. It is a testament to the power of partnership. Our partners' commitments, including Japan, both in resources and technical expertise, have enabled us to reach the most vulnerable, to source food locally, and to empower women through community-based farmer cooperatives and food initiatives. The impact is clear. School attendance has increased, dropout rates are falling, and children are healthier and more attentive in class. Parents are more confident in sending their children to school, knowing they will be nourished and cared for. Our local farmers benefit too, as we prioritize homegrown school feeding, creating a virtuous cycle of growth and opportunity. But our work is far from complete. The global challenges of rising food prices, climate change, and conflict threaten to undo hard-won gains. It is in this context that Japan's leadership, cooperation, and the spirit of global partnership become even more vital. There are more than 1 million students who do not currently benefit from the school meal programs in both public and private schools. In terms of our global and domestic commitments, the government of Liberia, for the first time, has made budgetary allocation to school feeding, and we intend to continue. Liberia is committed to supporting the global effort in positioning school meals as a central cross-cutting intervention that will contribute to a more sustainable and equitable future. We are committed to leveraging innovations in school feeding, such as Japan's Shokiku food education, a tried and tested school lunch program that includes shared responsibility, inclusivity, a farm-to-table approach, community involvement, and integration with the school curriculum for sustainability. Together, we can ensure that every child, whether in Monrovia, Tokyo, or beyond, has the nourishment they need to learn, to dream, and to thrive. A well-known Japanese proverb reminds us that even dust, when piled up, can become a mountain. This perfectly captures the essence of how the smallest contributions, when sustained and multiplied, can bring about transformation. That is why we are here, not to ask for handouts, but to share how Liberia is steadily building its own mountain of progress, and to invite partners to join us in scaling a model that is already working. Liberia stands ready to deepen our collaboration with Japan and all partners, sharing our experiences and learning from yours. We are confident in organizations as the Global Partners for Education to help us tremendously advance this cause. In closing, I thank you for your partnership, your solidarity, and your unwavering belief in the transformative power of school meals. My appreciation goes to our partners, including the World Food Program, who continue to provide support for our school feeding initiatives in Liberia. Let us continue to feed futures together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So next session is we'd like to enjoy the video clip.
Children's nutrition is an important part of their health and development. In Ghana, we introduced the school feeding program. School meals are more than nourishment. They are building blocks for learning, equity, and economic inclusion. Since 2005, Ghana's homegrown school feeding program has expanded to cover over 3.4 million children across 10,800 plus schools, using food grown by smallholder farmers and prepared by thousands of caterers, many of whom are women. The program delivers lasting benefits to both learners and local economies. Since 2015, Ghana has had a national school feeding policy supported by a dedicated budget line, ensuring sustainability and legal backing. The Global Partnership for Education provides a strategic coordination platform helping align partners, investment, and policies to ensure sustainable, equitable education service delivery. Since Ghana's government took full ownership of our school meals program, WFP remains a trusted technical advisor working with government to strengthen reimbursement and payment mechanism, improve meal quality and nutrition standards, and advocates for legislative frameworks and budget sustainability, and stability. Implementing robust monitoring evaluation system by WFP. Ghana deeply admires Japan's approach to school nutrition. It differs from country to country, especially the Shokuku philosophy, which integrates community values and dignity. We also applaud the work of Japanese foundations like Ajinomoto and Coco Plus, whose nutrition innovations have helped vulnerable children in Ghana, in particular the Coco Plus. You know, Ghanaian children, they love good breakfast. We look forward to a stronger partnership and urge and invite partners to join GPE to combine technical expertise, local innovation, and strategic investment. By this, we can achieve a sustainable school feeding program that helps every child flourish. Ghana is committed to delivering quality school meals embedded in strong systems and sustainable financing. With partners like GPE, WFP, and Japanese ally, we can build a future where no child misses a meal, a lesson, or an opportunity.
Thank you very much, fireside chat speakers. So we shall move on to the next session, lightning presentations, Japan's case, domestic and global cooperation. We'd like to invite first speaker, Dr. Rumi Saito, Senior Specialist for School Lunches, Health Education and Food Education Division, Elementary and Secondary Education Bureau.
Hi. ただいまご紹介いただきました文部科学省学校給食調査官の斉藤留美と申します。私からは日本の学校給食について説明をさせていただきます。よろしくお願いします。日本の学校給食は1889年に山形県の私立小学校において貧困児童を対象に無償で提供されたことが始まりと記録されています。その後、全国に学校給食が広まっていきました。学校給食法は1954年に公布されました。また、2004年に栄養教諭制度を創設し、2005年から開始しました。栄養教諭については後ほどまた詳しくご説明させていただきます。学校給食の献立についてです。初めはおにぎり、塩鮭、漬物などでしたが、現在は栄養バランスの取れた食事が提供されています。学校給食の献立の特徴としては、ご飯、パンなどの主食、肉、魚などの主菜、野菜などの副菜を組み合わせておりまして、バランスの良い食事のモデルとして日本の食生活や将来の食事作りの指標ともなるものを提供しています。学校給食関連の法規としては、学校給食法、食育基本法、学習指導要領があります。学校給食法の中では、学校給食で提供するエネルギーや栄養素などの基準を示した学校給食実施基準、学校給食の衛生管理の基準を示した学校給食衛生管理基準も規定しています。学校給食法第1条の法律の目的では、学校における食育の推進を図ることを規定しております。また、学校給食法第2条の学校給食の目標では、健康の保持増進を図る、望ましい食習慣を養うなど、7つの目標を掲げており、目的が達成されるよう努めなければならないことを規定しております。日本の学校給食の調理施設には、学校内で調理をする単独調理場、 複数の学校の給食をまとめて調理し、各学校へ配送する共同調理場の方式があります。文部科学省の調査によりますと、公立の小学校における割合では、単独調理場が 46.4%、共同調理場が 53.1% となっています。2005年から開始された栄養教諭制度についてです。栄養教諭は管理栄養士または栄養士の免許を有しており、栄養に関する専門性と教育に関する資質を併せ有する教師です。栄養教諭は学校給食の献立作成も行っており、学校給食を教材として活用し、食に関する指導を充実していくことが期待されています。栄養教諭の主な職務は、食に関する指導として、教科等での指導、給食の時間の指導、個別的な相談指導、学校給食の管理としては、栄養管理、衛生管理があります。こちらは栄養教諭による指導の様子になります。また、給食の時間では、給食の準備から会食、片付けまでの一連の指導を実際の活動を通して毎日繰り返し行っています。また、日本では学校給食における地場産物の活用を促進して行っております。地場産物を活用することで、地域との絆を深め、食への感謝の念を育てています。以上で日本の学校給食の説明を終わらせていただきます。ご清聴どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Dr. Arumi Saito. Okay, second speaker is Mr. Hiromichi Morishita, Director General of Human Development Department, JICA.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished colleagues, partners, and guests and friends. It is a great privilege to join you today at this TICAD session in collaboration with the Global Partnership for Education, GPE. I'm Hiromichi Morishita, Director General of Human Development Department, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. I speak today on behalf of JICA to share our experience and vision at the intersection of education and nutrition, a nexus that we believe holds immense promise for Africa's future. At JICA, we believe that education is not only a path to knowledge and opportunity, but a powerful vehicle for human development in its fullest sense. When children are healthy, nourished, and able to attend school regularly, they are better prepared to learn, grow, and thrive. Conversely, malnutrition and poor health can seriously undermine education outcomes. This is why, in our education cooperation, we have increasingly embraced a multi-sectoral approach, one that integrated school health, nutrition education, and community participation. This approach is embodied in what we call the Minna no Gakko model, or School for All, in Africa. This model has now been adopted in over 75,000 schools across 11 African countries. What makes School for All unique is its deep roots in community empowerment. Through democratic school management committees, residents come together to identify challenges, create solutions, and take collective action. While originally focused on governance and learning, the model has expanded organically to address school meal and nutrition education. Let me show an example from Madagascar. Despite a national school feeding policy, budget limitation were a barrier to cover all 3.85 million children year-round. In response, community, with JICA's technical support, began organizing voluntary school meal during the run season using local resources. These were modest in scale, but deeply meaningful. In the 2024 school year, nearly 1,700 schools across 2 provinces implemented these community-led feeding efforts. The results were clear: better attendance, more engagement, and even increased after-school learning. These initiatives are not just about food. They are about dignity, ownership, and ensuring that children stay in school and succeed. The school became more than a classroom. It becomes a hub for nutrition, hygiene, agriculture, and child protection. We have also extended this approach to early childhood development. In kindergarten, we introduced illustrated storybook called Kamishibai to promote hygiene and nutrition. Teachers observed clear improvement from hand washing to eating habits, and even parents became more involved in supporting children's well-being. Let us reimagine schools, not just as places to read and write, but as spaces to live and grow. Let us see communities not as beneficiaries, but as leaders of change. These are not small changes. They are fundamental to delivering inclusive quality education and supporting children to reach their full potential. Looking ahead, we see enormous potential. Community-led school meal and nutrition education can be scaled, not as emergency measures, but as lasting solutions rooted in local realities.
Mr. Morishita, could you kindly wind up?
But to do so, we must invest in people, school committee members, teachers, parents, and children themselves. We must also foster policy environment that encourage local innovation and coordination. JICA remains firmly committed to working this path together with African partners, sharing experience, co-creating models, and listening closely to local voices. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hiromichi Morishita. The third speaker is Mr. Mitsuru Izumo, President and CEO, Ugrena Company.
Very good morning, Your Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mitsuru Izumo. I'm running a biostat company called Ugrena as a founder and CEO. Today, I stand here, not merely as a business leader, but as a partner committed to supporting your noble mission of nurturing Africa's most precious resource, your children. Let me share my personal background very briefly. In 1998, I visited Bangladesh as an internship student of Grameen Bank and witnessed the severe malnutrition affecting children. At that time, I decided to find a way to solve a malnutrition issue. When I came back to Japan, I studied hard on nutrition, and the answer came from nature itself. A very tiny green microorganism called Ugrena. This is miraculous microorganism you see in the slide on the right side. Ugrena is green colored. Ugrena is plant plankton. Ugrena can do photosynthesis like other plant. And what makes Ugrena unique is that Ugrena is a kind of plant plankton, and at the same time, Ugrena can move by itself like animal. Ugrena has both plant and animal genes. Euglena can create all kinds of vitamins, minerals, and proteins which a growing child needs. In 2005, I founded Euglena Corporation to solve malnutrition problems through this Euglena in the University of Tokyo. Honorable ministers and distinguished guests, I must emphasize the trust and the partnership that Euglena has established with the highest levels of the Japanese government. In 2015, His Excellency, the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, presented us with the Prime Minister's Award at the first Japan Venture Award. In 2021, His Excellency, the former Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, awarded us the SDGs Prime Minister's Award at the Japan SDGs Award ceremony. This prestigious recognition celebrated our sustainable approach to solving social challenges. Your Excellencies, our track record speaks directly to your educational objectives. Since 2014, our Euglena Genki program has transformed school nutrition in Bangladesh, reaching over 95 schools across 13 districts. We deliver nutritious Euglena cookies with 59 essential nutrients to 9,500 children daily, providing a complete daily nutrition including vitamins, minerals in every packet by Euglena. We have reached a milestone that makes my heart full. 20 million Euglena biscuits distributed across Bangladesh by March 2025, touching hundreds of thousands of young lives. When I visit schools in Dhaka, I see something beautiful. Children with bright eyes, studying hard, their faces shining with health and hope. This is social business in action, where profit serves purpose, where Japanese innovation meets Bangladesh beautiful resilience. In 2019, our work was internationally recognized when Euglena became the very first Japanese startup company selected as a business partner by the United Nations World Food Programme. In conclusion, we understand that the mission of a startup is to create the first early small success in the most difficult areas. Under the direction of the Japanese and Bangladesh governments, we will expand the school lunch program in Bangladesh and create success stories. We don't stop here. Next, I'd like to promote this experience of distributing Euglena school lunches in the Gazipur district in Bangladesh, for example, as an official school lunch to improve the health of tens of thousands of children in a low-cost and sustainable manner with the support of the Japanese government. We also hope to spread what we have learned in Bangladesh to Africa, your continent. Your Excellencies, the partnership between Euglena and the government of Japan represents a new paradigm where innovative private sector solutions align with government policy objectives to create lasting social impact. With your leadership and our proven capabilities, we can transform malnutrition from an educational barrier into a solved challenge. We believe that collaboration is key. By working with organizations like GPE and WFP, we aim to identify a public-private partnership model and expand our impact. I thank Your Excellencies for your distinguished attention and look forward to meaningful partnerships that will nourish Africa's educational future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitsuru Izumo. The last speaker of this session is Dr. Masashi Honda, Country Director, Ghana, the Ajinomoto Foundation. Mike is yours.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。私味の素ファンデーションの本田と申します。 今日はガーナからやってまいりました。で我々はですねここにあるココプラスというサプリメントですね、乳幼児向けのサプリメントをガーナで展開しておりまして、これを通じてガーナの子どもたちの栄養改善をしている NGO になります。で今日はですねこのココプラスを給食に使うことでさらなる栄養改善ができますということをお話しさせていただきます。はい、我々のヒストリーとその次に、我々がやりたいこと、この順番でお話しさせていただきます。我々味の素ファンデーションは、食を通じた栄養改善ということで、これをミッションに2009年から16年間にわたってですねガーナ現地で活動を続けてきております。で現地の課題が何かといいますと、2歳の 25%、いまだに4分の1がですね栄養不良と。で初めの受胎してから1000日、これがその脳とか神経を作る非常に大事な期間ですけれども、この期間の栄養素が足りないということで、このように脳の発達が不十分だというような報告もあります。でその原因は何なんだということで調べてみると、現地で代表的に食べられているココのようなこの離乳食、これに栄養素が足りてないということが分かってきています。で我々はですねアミノ酸の技術を使いまして、足りない栄養を補給できるサプリメントとしてこのココプラスというのを開発しています。ですみません、戻れますか。はい。でローカルということにこだわってまして、現地のこの美味しさということにも関わりますけれども、現地の原料を使い現地生産、それから現地のディストリビューション部隊を整えております。で下にありますあれココプラスカーと呼んでますけれども、あれを10台以上使ってですねこの全国に、配下するということをやってます。でもっと買ってくださいとか、いやもっと安くしてくださいと、そういう世界ではなくて、ちゃんと栄養が大事なんですと、子どもにとって大事なんですと、この理解のもとに買ってもらうということで、販売員がああいう説明をしてですね買ってもらって、今1万店舗以上で取り扱っていただいているということになります。で次が最も大事なところですけれども、有効性はどうなんだということで、有効性試験とですね流通モデル試験をして論文化し WFP からの認証を得ているということになります。続いて今日ガーナから一緒に来ているガーナ政府のですね、ガーナヘルスサービスとの連携、についてです。でお母さんが、保健所に定期的に健康診断に行きます。で自分の子どもの状態を知って、でその次に、検診の待ち時間にですねナースから食育教育を受けます。で帰りにココプラスを買って子どもに食べてもらって、また検診に行くと、このサイクルをぐるぐる回していくということをやってます。で我々はすでにナースに5440人ですねトレーニングをして、この方たちが全国の 60% のエリアで、お母さんたちに食育教育をしていると。で食育教育を受けたお母さんは正しい知識に基づいてサプリメントの購入率が上がるということが確認できています。で次のこれからの計画についてお話しします。今まで2歳以下についてお話ししましたけれども、これから給食に使いたいと思っています。でなんでかっていうと、この給食の小学生はそれ以外の期間の子どもたちと比べて優先順位が低く設定されているために栄養のサポートから取り残されています。で健康状態というと実は 50% が貧血で、これは認知力の欠如や将来の収入が減ってしまうということが指摘されています。で実際に何食べているかというのがこちらの写真ですけれども、給食見てみるとエネルギーベースになっていて、大事なタンパク質や微量栄養素、これが少ないということが指摘されています。じゃあ仮にココプラスを添加するとどうなるかということがこちらで示しておりますけれども、給食に対してココプラスを添加するとこれだけ栄養素をカバーできます。でこれっていうのはここに書かれている栄養素は、赤血球の産生やそのタンパクアミノ酸の代謝、それから免疫に非常に重要だということがすでに知られている栄養素です。で我々としてじゃあ次何をやりたいのかというのがこちらに示しています。パブリックとの連携をさらに加速させてこの3つのステップで進めていきたいと思っています。で1つ目がやっぱり最も重要なエビデンスの獲得になります。でこれはパイロット試験でエビデンスを獲得していく、このためにはファンドが必要なのでぜひ活用させていただきたいと思っています。でそこで確かなエビデンスをもとにスケールアップに進んでいきます。でこのスケールアップで参加した母子ともに確かに効果がある、この効果実感、これをもとに最終的には給食への取り込みということを狙っていきたいと思っています。で 我々はただこの栄養素を提供するということだけではなくて、食育、しっかり正しい理解に基づいて、頭でも理解してもらう、で体感でも理解してもらう、この両方からアプローチするということが非常に大事だろうというふうに捉えています。で2日前からGPE の、ブログにも書かれていたというところだと思いますが、この食育、それから給食、この両面からのこのアプローチで、正しい理解のもとに栄養をちゃんと選択できて健康になる、こういう世界の実現に尽力していきたいと思ってますので、どうぞご支援のほどよろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much, Dr. Masashi Honda. So we shall move on to the next session, aligning financing and expertise for scale and quality. Speaker is Dr. Imanishi Nobuharu, Deputy Director General for Global Issues, International Cooperation Bureau, Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. I speak in Japanese. 本日はGP 主催のイベントにお招きいただいて感謝しております。もうさまざまな方から専門的ないろんなお話をいただきましたので、私からは外交政策の観点からこの学校給食の話を少しさせていただきます。日本は人間の安全保障というものを外交政策の柱に位置づけておりまして、それを推進するための不可欠な分野として教育を重視しているところです。で特に今回TICAD ということですけれども、アフリカにおける経済社会の変革を担う若者、それから女性が鍵となるわけですので、さまざまなレベルにおける質の高い学びへのアクセスを確保することが重要だと考えております。アフリカでは学校に通えない子どもたちの数がむしろ増えているということですので、これが課題となっております。学校給食は子どもたちが継続的に学校に通う上での大きなインセンティブでもありますので、重要だと考えております。日本はスクールミールスコアリションというのがありますけれども、2030年までにすべての子どもたちが健康的な学校給食を受けられるようにするという目標、その取り組みに賛同しているわけです。2022年にこのコアリションに参加して、学校給食の普及促進に協力してきておりまして、WFP 世界食糧機関や JICA を通じてアジア、それからアフリカを中心に30カ国において学校給食支援の事業を実施してきております。GP については私ども非常にそういう意味ではこの学校給食も含めた教育分野における鍵となるパートナーとして関係を重視しているところであります。国際社会全体の開発資金の資金繰りが今後一層厳しさを増すと予想される中で、新しい資金調達の在り方の重要性が増しております。GP は民間資本や国内資金の動員に向けて革新的な取り組みを進めており、また事業効果の向上に積極的に取り組んでいると承知しております。特にマルチプライヤーという制度がありまして、モンゴルなんかの例がありますけれども、JICA の学校給食導入支援プロジェクトにこのマルチプライヤーということで GP が協力するという形で、ウィンウィンの関係を示し築くということで、効率的にやはりお金を使うことは資金繰りが今後一層厳しさを増す中では重要な取り組みだというふうに考えています。引き続き GP とのパートナーシップを強化してまいります。今回の TICAD はアフリカにおけるさまざまな課題解決をアフリカの人たちと共に作ると、社会解決、課題解決を共に解決策を模索するというのがテーマでございました。この給食分野におきましても、学校給食の推進ということで、アフリカの皆様と今後一層パートナーシップを含めてまいりたいと思っておりますので、皆様のご理解をいただければと思います。今日はどうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Dr. Masashi Honda. So we'd like to close this session, lightning presentation session. So finally, we'd like to get some comments from Mr. Charles North, Deputy CEO, GPE. Yeah, so mic is yours.
So I admit I didn't know I was coming up again, so I'll be even more brief this time. Just to say a tremendous thank you to all the speakers today. We have heard about many different innovative approaches. We have learned about the experience that Japan brings. We've learned about partnerships, bringing the expertise and the knowledge and the financing together. And we've seen the incredible efforts by partner countries such as Kenya and Liberia to build their own school feeding programs. And so we look to you to guide us, to lead us forward as partners. We're here all to serve you. So with that, let me close and thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much, Charles Norris. Let's move on to the audience Q&A. Sorry to say, due to time constraint, we'd like to get only one question from the floor. If you have some comments or questions, please raise your hand and also, okay, so please. And also please say your name and affiliation.
Thank you very much. My name is Soma from one of the international consulting firm called Padeco. Thank you very much for very much insightful discussion today. And I personally strongly believe that Japan's cooperation in this field is highly meaningful. So I'd like to raise one simple question. Question might be going to maybe JICA. School feeding is sometimes seen as emergency or nutrition-specific support, but from an education perspective, it should ideally reach to all children in the country. How do you see the prospect for scaling up these initiatives? And how might frameworks like GPE be used to make school meals more sustainable? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. On behalf of JICA, I think in many cases, the nutrition is a part of a sectorial project is a part of a sectorial project like education, or agriculture, or health. So it seems very difficult to pick up only the nutrition aspect from the whole of the project. But we need to combine every effort to all stakeholders concerning the development of nutrition or school feeding. So we'd like to involve all stakeholders from such as EGP or UNESCO or other partners to consider how we can scale up such kind of project, the nutrition aspect. So thank you very much for your question.
Thank you very much. Due to time constraint, let me wind up today's entire of the session. So finally, from moderator side, let me wrap up and say the call to action. Thanks to the cooperation and engagement of everyone here today, we have now reached the conclusion of this session. One of the most inspiring realizations from today's discussions is that concrete efforts are already underway, bringing together a wide range of stakeholders, including African nations, the government of Japan, GPE, JICA, and companies and NGOs such as Yugurena and Ajinomoto, to address the intersection of education and nutrition. These contributions are not only meaningful, but also expanding, and I firmly believe they will continue to strengthen the ties between Japan and the African continent. Through this session, we've been able to envision a future where every child has access to quality education and where education continues to grow as a public good that empowers communities and nations alike. To all our speakers, distinguished guests, and every participant, thank you very much for being part of this vital conversation. Thank you very much. So, we'd like to go to the finish, but before go back, everyone, we'd like to see off the First Lady first. So, could you kindly stand up?はい、それでは拍手でお送りください。はい、ありがとうございました。それではお気をつけてお帰りくださいませ。